G5 sitting on the runway. Big ass chopper, call that bitch Beyonce.
Peace, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Hip Hop Astrology TV. This is your host, Minister Jew, along with Noble Ampu and Samaya Spade, the one and only. Today we're going to talk about, real briefly, Lil Wayne and Birdman, the fallout that has happened over at Cash Money Records. A lot of people are shocked, they're surprised, but we know we take it to the stars so that the stars can meet the stars and understand some of these influences that are happening. And hopefully by understanding energy and patterns before they arrive, some of these things can be circumvented. So this is what we're aiming to do on this presentation here today. So when we're looking at Birdman and Wayne, right, they've been together for a very, very long time, man. I mean, over a decade, they've been running strong in hip-hop, putting out hit after hit, like father, like son, a real, real strong relationship. So the news broke, man, maybe about a month ago or so, and they said that Wayne wanted out of Cash Money Records. A lot of people just thought it was rumors, but it turns out to be the truth, man. He just released a mixtape. I think it's Sorry for the Wait, and he kind of aired out some of their dirty laundry on a couple of those tracks on the mixtape. And now it is said that he is suing Birdman for something close to $8 million and to be released out of his contract for violation of, the terms and the stipulations that they had as far as album releases is concerned. So I'm going to take y'all first to the shock and the awe. People were shocked about this possible separation and this beef that was escalating between the two. And when we think about shock, we think about the planet Uranus. Uranus is sudden change. It brings a dynamic into the mix where you just don't know what to expect. Now, Wayne was born on 9/27/82, and this places his Uranus at 1 degree Sagittarius, okay? And right now in the sky, we have something going on called transit Saturn. Saturn is the planet of restrictions, limitations, contracting things, and patience as well. So when we look at this, we say, wow, Saturn is at 1 degree Sag. Wayne is born with a natal Uranus at 1 degree Sag. And as this information is coming to the light, it seems like Wayne is having some restriction put on him by somebody who helped him fulfill his desires, who helped him fulfill his goals, who helped him fulfill his dreams, which is an Aquarian thing, which is associated with the 11th house in astrology, and this is what this particular house actually deals with. So we're picking up on this vibe, we're picking up on this energy. But at this time, this same person who had brought forth Wayne with his goals and his desires, et cetera, now with some type of contracting, some type of limitation taking place that Wayne is feeling from this person in his life who just happens to play out the energy as Birdman, who is personified as Birdman, who actually has a star on his head, which is interesting when we get into the law of correspondence. But nevertheless, we also have to look at Mars, which denotes the masculine energy, some aggressive energy as well. But this can also represent the type of companion that a male may seek in his life. And right now, the planet Saturn is also conjunct Wayne's natal Mars, which Birdman is a representative of as well. You know, his road dog, his homie, the individual who he rides with, man. And Saturn is just like, nah, man, we're going to put some constraints on this thing. We're going to put some limitations on this thing. We're going to make you view this thing from another angle. And I think this is what actually is the cause of it, is this transit Saturn coming through. There's many angles that we're going to look at this thing and to give the people a better idea how to analyze their own chart when they see these energies coming up. But up next, man, we got Samaya Spade, man. Samaya, how do you see it?
Well, you know me. I'm the queen of karma, and everything I believe is rooted in our past lives, our present actions. And what sticks out for me with this situation between Birdman and Lil Wayne is the North Node and the South Node. Right now, the transiting North Node is at 12 degrees of Libra, which is directly opposing Birdman's Venus. Remember, Venus is our values, our money, and Venus in Birdman's chart is at 11 degrees of Aries. So right now he's coming up on a north node, or a south node conjuncting his Venus. Now, with the north node and south node, these are very karmic energies. The north node represents good attachments, forming good relationships. It works as a Jupiter influence. And the south node, which is connected to past karma, is more of a separating influence. So once you have the south node conjuncting a point in your chart, it denotes a karmic situation that is going to cause a separation. So where is the south node? The north node being in Libra, which represents partnerships, Aries, which represents selfishness. So to me, this selfish behavior from the past is interfering with his current partnership. Now, the interesting thing between Birdman and Wayne is Birdman's Jupiter at 5 degrees of Libra is conjunct with Wayne's Sun at 4 degrees of Libra. So here we have a Sun-Jupiter conjunction in the sign of partnerships. To me, Birdman cannot, even if he wanted to, he could not screw over Little Wayne because of the Jupiter influence that he has to portray. You have to work within the confines of your chart. So to me, Little Wayne really doesn't have anything to worry about as far as being screwed over because Jupiter is going to protect him in that situation. Now, what you're going to have to pay attention to is because this South Node conjunction to Birdman's Venus is causing the separation and it's causing the rift in the partnership over money. Watch out, because I'm going to dare to predict the possibility of them settling or squashing this beef this summer when transit North Node conjuncts both of their Jupiter-Sun conjunction that they have in their synastry charts. So that's my prediction. Either look out for Wayne making a new partnership with someone this summer, maybe going to a different label that's going to be more beneficial to him, or this summer him and Birdman will squash this beef and move forward. Because at the same time that the North Node in Libra conjuncts Birdman's Jupiter, it's also going to conjunct Little Wayne's Sun. So I think they're going to go through it. They're supposed to go through it. This is karmic based off of the South Node transit. But in the end, you got to look ahead and see what's going to happen sometime in July. Let's watch and see what happens in July when they both undergo this transit. Let's see if the beef is squashed and they move forward in a new partnership under a new contract, or Little Wayne will either join forces with another label and it's going to be a better situation for him. So that's my take on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is. It's interesting, man. Off top, Minister Jew hit us up and said, breaking news. Lil Wayne suing Birdman for $8 million. And I'm like, man, this is a Mercury opposition Mercury. And the reason how I got that was Mercury, ladies and gentlemen, deals with the mind. It deals with communication, right? And low-key, it also governs contracts. Now, those of you that may be a little bit astute in astrology say, what are you talking about? Libra is Venus, and that is contracts. But hold on. Contracts really consist of written language, right? It's either written and or verbal. That is a Mercury theme. Can't have a contract without that, all right? So low-key, you got to understand Mercury has a dominion dealing with contracts. So Mercury represents the mind, your perception, what you're thinking about. Now, by progression, which simply means how a person's soul has evolved over time. It's kind of like when you're a baby, then you're a grown man, a baby to a grown woman. It's how you progress over time. Birdman, in his progress chart, how he's progressed over time, who he is in the now, his Mercury is about 5 degrees Aries, okay? Now, we know that Lil Wayne is a Libra. Lil Wayne was born when Mercury was 13 degrees Libra. What does that mean? Ladies and gentlemen, take it to a wall clock. Real simple. Aries is the first sign. Libra is the 7th sign. So 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock, it looks like 1:35 on the wall clock. That is opposition. So therefore, they're having a conflict, because that's what opposition is. They're both facing each other. They're having a conflict with the mind. Now, it's interesting because, again, when we're dealing with Birdman, we're dealing with a progression, right? So it's like who he is right now. And Lil Wayne, his Mercury is who he was or who he is when he was born, but it's not his progression. So Birdman is like, in a sense, like, you know what, I'm progressing, I see something different, Wayne, basically. I see something different, just bear with me in a sense. And Wayne is like, what you see just don't sit good to who I am. So it's real simple. I'm going to keep it real simple. Mercury, opposition Mercury. But since my teammates gave y'all some extra stuff, I'm going to sneak one more in there. Birdman also has Venus, the planet that rules Libra, which we can say this is the planet that governs Lil Wayne. Birdman has Venus in Aries. In astrology, that's called a detriment. It means when Venus is in Aries, it doesn't do too good. Venus rules contracts and partnerships and money. So therefore, when it comes to contracts, partnerships, and money, Birdman got a little bit of work to do, hence Manny Fresh, hence the hot boys, everybody but Wayne. You see what I'm saying? So you will see why he will have this stigma around him dealing with the nature of contracts, because the planet that governs contracts is out of pocket for him. It's in Aries. What did I just say? Aries is in opposition to Lil Wayne as a Libra. So when we're saying this in a nutshell, if we looking at this on staff and we looking at this, we can easily say, hold on, listen, when y'all get about in the summertime or when y'all get to the year 2015, there's going to potentially be some beef in a difference of opinions because of the Mercury opposite Mercury. And at the same time, Wayne, you need to understand that the planet that governs you, which is Venus, although we know you a Martian, but which is Venus, you see what I'm saying, deal with contracts. Birdman, who is giving you the contract, he has that planet out of pocket, and that's your ruling planet. So when the right transit, what Minister Jew talked about and Samaya talked about, when the right planets come around and start to trigger these events, thus an event is actually going to happen. Real simple, ladies and gentlemen. Mercury opposition. Mercury represents a clash of the titans, a battle of the minds. This hiphopastrology.com. Visit us. If you got any questions, any inquiries, or any comments, feel free to get at us at info@hiphopastrology.com. Peace.
This for my dogs locked down all day. Money, power, respect, 3 the hard way. I put some real niggas on.